I'm Robert.
I'm Vanessa.
I'm Travis.
And we're late to the party. This is another episode of Better Late Than Never, Western Edition.
Western style.
February, a big time for at least Tucson.
And
we got
today,
rodeo.
you know what today is?
He's excited.
No, I am, because today is the day of Tucson Rodeo. Today is the Rodeo Parade. The longest non-motorized parade.
Now I just thought about it. If you don't have 8 seconds playing today, you kind of failed.
8 seconds?
You never seen 8 seconds? You should totally check it out. Anyways, Travis, continue because I have a feeling you failed.
Anyways, I've never
scared
been
now.
to the rodeo. Just kidding, I've been there once, twice. Twice.
Three times a lady.
The 2 days of a year that Tucsonans are not going to school, not working,
Going to Disneyland.
going to Disneyland if they're not here, is this week. For your Patreons, you got 2 more days till the parade.
Yeah, there you go. Don't miss it.
Don't miss the parade. For the rest of you civilians on Thursday, it's the parade. It's fun. You get everyone marching, the horses, the cleanup, the poop. Oh, it's beautiful and magical.
Yeah.
Everyone has hats on. Everyone has their shit kickers on. Boots for those who don't know what shit kickers are. It's a fun day. It's fun for Tucsonans. So that's why we're doing this Western theme, and that's why we're going to continue with today's Western movie.
All right.
And it was released February 10th of 1995.
Sure.
Had a budget of $35 million.
All right.
Had a box office amount of only $18.6 million.
Ooh.
Directed by Sam Raimi.
Okay.
All right.
I know this.
Yep.
Come on.
Written by
Rob.
Simon Moore and had some contributions by Josh Whedon.
Okay.
Stars Sharon Stone,
Okay.
Gene Hackman,
Okay.
Russell Crowe in his first American film debut.
Yes. Really? That
And-
was his first?
First American film.
Okay.
And
the
little
preacher.
Leo DiCaprio.
Leo DiCaprio.
And Pat Hingle, Commissioner Gordon.
Some interesting things with production of this particular film.
Sure.
It was originally going to be filmed in Mexico, but to cast Gene Hackman, they actually changed the location to be filmed here in Tucson.
Right.
Why? Because he was banned from Mexico?
Who knows? I mean, who wants Lex Luthor down there?
Yeah. Okay.
Possible.
He's the ruler of Australia. They should just done it in Australia.
Yeah. It would have been very visually stunning if they did it that way. Mad Max, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
This film actually competed heavily in the box office against Billy Madison, the Brady Bunch movie, Just Cause, and a personal favorite of mine of Heavyweights.
You know, I saw the Brady Bunch movie at the drive-in.
At the drive-in.
Sure did.
Cowboy
So.
style.
But this one I did not. I saw it like after it was released.
Yes.
Me too.
So, let's watch this movie trailer to this movie.
There you go.
That we've
Actually really enjoy.
This is my town! You live to see the dawn, it's because I allow it. I decide who lives or who dies.
In a town called Redemption,
We've been
That
there.
looks familiar.
We've been there.
death is a way of life. Some fight for money.
Oh, little Leo.
Look at Lance Henriksen.
Little Leo.
But one stranger has come here
Even got Gary Sinise in there
for
too.
something else.
I now declare the quick draw competition open. Anybody can challenge anybody.
Sign me up.
Sure must want to die young, miss.
She can play their game.
Want to play poker with me, little lady?
Looks like you're having a pretty good time playing with yourself.
Oh!
Her odds.
Did you ever kill anyone?
Sure.
I don't think you have.
He's got the gun on her and she's got the gun on him.
But there's one thing she can't do.
Why are you really here? You're no gunfighter.
Forget the past.
Oh, Gary Sinise.
We've been in there.
not Gary Sinise, but in the
Some
location.
people deserve to die.
She's rocking the specs.
Pictures presents Sharon Stone,
I'm gonna kill you if I have to ride all the way to hell to do it.
Gene Hackman,
There's nothing on this earth that frightens me now.
They make this so
Leonardo DiCaprio. By Sam Raimi, The Quick and the Dead. In this town, you're either one or the other.
That scene with the
Unless you
whole-
don't die from your gunshot, which is allowed in the first half of the tournament.
Yeah, until he changes it because he's a dude.
So, yeah, The Quick and the Dead. I am a huge fan of this movie just because I think it's just really fun. It's really campy. But one of the biggest things as well is the cinematography effects that Sam Raimi puts into this movie, which you do see reflected in the trailer.
I think that this movie is a very simple story, and I think that's why maybe a lot of people just didn't like reach out to grab it, and it was just like, oh, it's just a movie about a competition, but there's also this underlining story of her trying to take revenge on him because something happens in the movie. I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it, but I mean, it's really sad, like the whole scene with her as a kid and everything, but yeah, it's a very simple story.
I would see it based off of this trailer. I think it shows a lot of quick going on.
See, for me, I feel like this trailer makes it way more intense than it actually is.
It's pretty intense, though,
It's pretty
especially
intense.
in the
There's
gunfight situation.
There's a scene
Well,
where
yeah,
you
during
get
one scene.
with the gunshot head wound. Just awesome.
Well, because it just like disappears, the opening through the head.
Yeah.
It just goes... You hear like the air blow through it. Yeah, it's fairly violent when it comes to certain moments, especially those gunfighting rounds. And yeah, you're right. It is a simple story because it's basically March Madness with guns.
Yeah.
Because they build a tournament and everything, and it does get down to the point where you're like, damn, like I don't want to see one of these people go, but they end up going because you have David Keith and you've got Lance Henriksen as kind of like the wild card, no pun intended when it comes to Lance Henriksen, but you've got the wild cards that are in there that you're like, I know who these actors are, and I know who, is it David Keith or Keith David? I always flip
Keith
the
David.
two. Is it Keith David?
Yeah.
Because the other one's Boo Hoo Boone from Indian in the Cupboard.
Yeah.
I always don't remember
yeah.
which one, yeah.
Yeah.
But either way, you've got them in there. Of course, you got Leo. You got the old man Marley from Home Alone. He's like the Undertaker. You got the blind kid who's really good with bullets. And then, of course, you've got the postman from Funny Farm, who's like trying to hit on the girls, and she ends up, Sharon
that's
Stone
him?
battles him in the rain.
Oh, I didn't know that was him.
Quite a collective of people in this movie, and the cool thing is it took place at Mescal here in Tucson,
Which is
Arizona.
the second location, I guess.
The secondary filming location.
Site
Right,
B.
secondary filming
Site B,
location.
actually.
It's the
the best
Site
way.
B, yeah, it's the
Yeah.
Site B for Old Tucson, and that's also that street, that city, that town.
Same street.
It's-
Tombstone
and
is Tombstone in the Tombstone
Right
movie.
now, that as it sits right now in present day, it's still in reflection of this movie, minus a couple of
Buildings
buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
If
a-
you've seen the movie, you know why. But it's kind of funny when you go there. You're like, oh, this is like definitely like
There
Quick and the
are
Dead.
some individuals who think they should have filmed Tombstone after Quick and the Dead. This way, they didn't look so desolate and
Yeah.
torn down.
Yeah.
Funny thing about this movie too is it wouldn't have been made without Sharon Stone. She produced it and started it, and she demanded Sam Raimi to be directing it.
Which is kind of interesting to see Sam Raimi take on like doing a Western a little bit, because before this, you kind of his most famous movie of that time, during that time, essentially, I guess, would be Evil Dead.
Evil Dead, Army of Darkness.
Or
Sharon
Army
Stone
of Darkness
That-
too.
that
Yeah, that
loves
series.
The
and
Army of
stuff.
Darkness.
Yeah.
Because of that movie, she demanded and said, "I won't do this movie unless Sam Raimi directs it." And they're like, "Sure, why not?"
And it's cool because you do get a lot of that Sam Raimi cleverness when it comes to the cinematography.
The quick zooms out
Yeah, you
and
do
the
that
angles.
focus zoom while focusing, while
Absolutely.
zooming, and when it comes to the
That's Alfred
gunfights.
Hitchcock's shot.
Correct, but the way that Sam Raimi does it,
He does
is
it
he does dual.
like an angle, yeah.
Certain shots he does dual focus as well, where you've got two different characters, and instead of shifting focus between one to the
It's
other,
both in focus.
it's both are in focus, and it does add kind of a unique perspective, especially to the gunfightings and the showdowns in the actual the city square, or at least city strip. But yeah, you do get a lot of those cool moments where you get the the focus and the jumping to certain things. It makes it very Hitchcockian, I guess. I don't know, Hitchcock-esque. But there are a couple slip-ups. In fact, one of the biggest slip-ups I always talk about, and I cannot not see it when watching this movie.
There's a truck in the back.
Towards the end of the
You've
movie,
shown us, right.
yeah,
Well,
towards the end of the movie, when one of Gene Hackman's guys is trying to run because Hackman's going to kill him, and he's like running away, and Gene shoots him from down the line. There's like a pickup truck in the background just driving across, clear as day, and it's like, well, there's a pickup truck right there in the middle of the shot, and it's close to the finale of the movie. So it's not perfect.
You could totally twist it in a way where like it's kind of like The Village where these people live in seclusion, and then at the end you realize they live in like a park.
A Western park.
They were living in old Tucson the entire
They were living in Western
time.
Park the whole time.
And they did not realize that society moved on. Ooh, that'd be a good one. It kind of reminds me of the Aquabats with the cowboy android, which is also kind of like Westworld. But
I think this movie would be completely filmed differently now, and the trailer would have been cut so differently because of Russell Crowe too.
yeah, it's true.
Because you saw he
Well,
was
I
in there
think
barely for half a second, and Russell Crowe wasn't an American star. No one knew who he was or cared.
That's true, and his
Character is extremely important. And Sharon Stone wanted him to play this main character because he actually auditioned for a smaller role.
Oh, really?
And realizing that this guy has that statute of, well, he could be kind of scary and intimidating, but also kind-hearted. And
You get that from the preacher in this one.
yeah, he's an important character for this film, and I think he did an awesome job, which really helped move him into the American film career.
I mean, who would have thought, like, roughly 5 years later or so that he would star in a movie called Gladiator?
I know. Dominate as Gladiator, too.
Oh, I love that. Gladiator is ready!
Yeah.
I love that.
But when it comes to getting Gene Hackman, too, I mean, Gene Hackman, I don't remember which came first. I'm fairly certain it was Unforgiven, but Gene Hackman already was a
Unforgiven
menacing
came
bad
first.
guy with the ability of being your friend, but at the same time, he's the bad guy in Unforgiven. And this one's kind of the same, too. It's like, I'm here to protect the people. I'm doing this for you guys. And then they're biting the hand that's feeding him, He's a tyrant at the same time.
Yeah.
He gained it by being an outlaw and then ran it, which to me is very similar to Unforgiven. So I could see how people would be like, well, that already happened, and that other one was much more serious.
Why would we want to go?
Yeah, so
This one felt a little bit more, even though there were serious parts in this movie, it still felt more lighthearted. So even when they had those serious moments, it didn't really, in my opinion, when I was watching it, didn't really grasp you as if the movie like Unforgiven or Tombstone, where there's other stuff in that movie too, where it just like tugs at your heartstrings at that one too.
Yeah, I feel like...
for me, if you guys know, I love Leonardo DiCaprio, so that just tugged at my heartstrings anyway. So.
The movie sucked, but you only like it because of him.
But either way, what did you guys think of The Quick and the Dead, not the one with Sam Elliott? Let us know down in the comments below, or do you like the one with Sam Elliott? I've actually only seen parts of that one, not the whole thing, because there's only one Quick and the Dead in my book, and it's this one. But either way, what did you guys think? Let us know in the comments below. You can also like and subscribe.
And do the thing on our Facebook, Twitter, tell them their Instagram start
All the social networking gene joints, you know where they are. Keeping the party, fill the party, keep the party going on our Patreon. Gets us where we need to go. Check out the other westerns that we did for Better Late Than Never. And other than that, thank you, Travis.
Thank you.
And now it's time to say goodbye.
Bye.
This part is over.
Adios.